Hey, welcome to Command Prompt Episode 4. I'm Charles Onyett. I'm here with Anthony Gallegos.
Hello.
And we are looking at Anna, an adventure game that came out recently that you can pick up on Desura, a digital distribution service, not Steam. This is not on Steam as of yet. I know most people do tend to use Steam, but it's pretty simple to go pick it up on Desura. Not particularly expensive, not particularly long, but it is pretty cool so far from what we've seen. We haven't actually beaten the game yet, but there are a lot of horror elements at use here, and it is sort of built like more of a traditional it's a first-person game, but more like a traditional point-and-click style adventure.
Right.
Controls are kind of clunky.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little difficult getting into your inventory, and then when you want to use something, you have to like select to use and then drag it outside of the inventory, then point where you want to use it. It can be a little cumbersome.
Not a very efficient use of inventory, but the atmosphere seems pretty cool, and the presentation seems to work pretty well.
Yeah, and the game's really it's really hard to know like what exactly you're doing. You just start off and you're like looking for someone you love, or you start at this house that you've been seeing in your dreams, and then before you know it, now you're just here and you're exploring and trying to figure out. I think you're kind of figuring out what's going on too.
And it seems to be sort of part of, this is from Dream Painters, by the way, is the studio that put this out. This seems to be part of at least more a movement where, games that are more about exploration and creating an atmosphere have always been around, but it seems to be kind of a reemergence of that, especially along with titles like Slender that has blown up recently that people have been checking out, another horror game, and going back to something like Amnesia, The Dark Descent from Frictional, and their previous work with Penumbra, the trilogy where it was Black Plague, I think was really the standout title there. But yeah, games that are much more about just setting a tone and less about twitch mechanics and headshotting everything. And there seems to be more visibility being given to those, which is sort of why we're highlighting this, because it's actually really cool. And some of the elements you'll see come up here as Anthony explores whatever is going on with the door with the 5 eyes on it there. I think, does something happen here?
I don't know. I'm trying to open this door.
You're failing at door opening.
Whoa, what is this? This wasn't here. What's going on with this?
I don't know. You got to figure that out. Uh-oh.
Okay. I don't know what that's about.
There's screaming happening right now, by the way.
Jesus.
So this could be like a flashback element. Oh my God, there's blood-curdling screaming. By the way, we were just standing here before we started recording, and out of nowhere, the lights went out, and the shadow like jumped at our character. It didn't do anything. It didn't hurt the character or anything, but it just sort of jumped and scared.
Oh, God. Don't do that.
Are you moving the door?
I was trying to a little, and then it like
Or is somebody else moving the door?
It moved really violently.
So you can grab objects when you see that hand icon on screen, and you can sort of move them in and out.
Yeah, this door's locked, though, so I guess I can't get in there.
Okay.
That was not okay.
But yeah, and in addition to that trend, another game we've been hearing about recently is Gone Home from the Fulbright Company, where a couple of developers who worked on the BioShock franchise, of course a much bigger budget game, but also a game that, it had headshotting and killing and things like that, but also a game that was very, very concerned with telling a story, with setting a tone, and then reinforcing that throughout the experience. What they're working on with Gone Home is basically a first-person adventure title that is all about just kind of exploring a house and discovering the history. I'm really happy to see more attention being given to this type of thing. Experiences like Dear Esther and whatever Frictional and the Chinese Room are working on with the next Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs. Pretty cool time. Pretty cool that this is being emphasized and people are taking this very seriously, because it's certainly a nice break from playing games like Counter-Strike and Dota 2, where it's just all about killing everything.
Whoa. That was just a random guess by me.
What have you done? What did you just do?
I don't know. I just threw some sawdust on the water.
What happens if you fall in the water? Is that bad?
I don't know. I don't know anything. In the center pod, there's a gap in the sludge. Okay. Well, it's
yeah, the sound is really cool in this game because it's really sparse. All you can hear right now are just basically creaks from what you're this sawdust wood that you happen to be standing on.
God, I don't know what's going on. I'm so scared. Well, somehow this beam of light has allowed me to transform sawdust into some sort of bridge. I don't know. It's a really freaky game, and it's funny because I've played some parts of this before, and I can say that the same things do not happen twice. Like now, I thought maybe they would. Like previously, when I went in this room, I've never even done the sawdust thing. I just looked at this beam of light, and when I looked at it and just kind of clicked around and like tried to use or examine, I came out here and there was just a monster standing right here. That was just, it froze me in place, and the only way I could get it to disappear was by turning away from it, which is something you would never do when you see a monster.
Well, I mean, you would tend to turn and run if you see a monster, right?
Well, sure, but I'm saying when you're frozen in place, like I couldn't even get away. It was terrifying.
So the game's mechanics actually force you to move away.
Yeah.
Could you open that stove there?
Nah, that's a good question. Let's find out. Oh, whoa. Charles, you're so smart.
Yeah, I think when the hand icon appears, it means you can interact with something like that. I don't know what you have that could set something on fire. Maybe pine cones?
Well, so that poem I read earlier said something about a heated blade being used. Oh, so yeah, I was thinking because over here we saw this poem, and when you look at this poem, it says he stretched out his arm and cut himself with the heated blade. So only when he'd seen his blood pollute the limpid water. So I thought maybe I had to like heat this blade and cut my blood into this water. I don't know.
I wonder, can you use that pot?
I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. Let me see. Fire? No way.
Can you use that pot? Can you pick that up?
Oh, God.
Yeah, again, the interface is kind of not cooperative. But, I mean, can you just pick the pot up, and maybe that's what you're supposed to collect water in the pot?
Oh, yeah, let's try that. This is where the kind of classic adventure game parts of it, kind of come in. Nope, cannot get that.
Lame.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, right? It's like, that's part of the fun in this is that, yeah, you're kind of always kind of watching your back because there's something freaky going on, but at the same time, oh, wait, I can see a key in there. Hold on. Empty canteen. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, might you have to... There's the river outside, right? So you could fill up the canteen. Oh, God. Okay.
Don't know what that's about.
Well, you got to go look at it. Oh, it's gone.
Now it's gone. Ah.
Oh, yeah, there was a circle of candles there, too. They just totally disappeared.
Oh, yeah, they went out. What the hell? I don't like this. But I guess that's why you play this. I mean, why would you play a game if you aren't looking to be scared?
Yeah, and it starts out when you're outside the house. It's not exactly a frightening type of atmosphere. It's just kind of this, you're in this idyllic type of field, and you just run around and try to complete a puzzle to open the door.
Yeah, if anything, I would say it starts off really beautiful.
I don't know if that's going to work. Oh, my goodness.
My God.
You've done it.
Okay.
You should probably get that key.
What's going on?
Oh, my God.
What's going on, Charles?
Well, this is what was happening before.
Oh, God.
Oh, somebody's laughing. Where did you just go? Did you just break the game?
I don't know.
Wait, what? What's happening?
I don't know. I don't know if I broke the game or if it's freaking out.
Look to your right. Look to your right. There's a passage there. Go in there.
I think I might have broke the game.
Wait for it.
Well, I think I broke the game.
Okay, no, you did break the game. It was so terrifying that you completely broke the game. Pretty sure this was not supposed to happen because now you can just, if you look down, if you go back and just look down, you can see kind of basement levels and stuff. And I'm pretty sure you're well outside the acceptable range of geometry here. So,
well,
can you actually get back into the game?
I don't think so.
Like, will it let you through the walls again?
No. Somehow I've managed to defy the laws of physics. I've become a ghost in my quest to find out what's up with ghosts.
All right. Well, I guess that's probably a good place to stop, considering we busted it.
Yeah.
Unless that is supposed to happen, and we just haven't been able to figure out how that's actually incorporated into the themes of the game. but I don't think it is. Yeah, definitely a game that seems pretty cool, a game worth checking out if you're looking for kind of a spooky first-person adventure title.
Yeah, and this is the first time I've ever seen it break or anything, so, don't judge it too harshly.
Yeah. But next, we're going to check out World of Warplanes and hopefully get some kills. Okay, so hopefully I'm able to get some kills here. I'm swooping in a bot match with a fighter-type aircraft in World of Warplanes. And yeah, this is from wargaming.net. It is the next kind of arena combat game with some historical basis, but also very arcade-like elements mixed in from the guys who made World of Tanks.
I mean, and speaking of those like arcade elements, right? They want to be able to capture the sim crowd. I've talked to the guys that make it. They want to be able to capture the sim crowd, but they also want it to be very approachable. And to that end, they've made it so you can play with a mouse and keyboard, which is actually how Charles is shooting this guy right now.
Yeah, so there is support for if you want to use a joystick, you want to use a gamepad, you can actually use those as well. I'm using a mouse, and you can see my cursor kind of flying. I'm sorry, my aim isn't amazing right now.
Hey, you're hitting him. I'd say that's pretty amazing.
I am scoring hits, but I should probably be a little smoother. But when you move out of the central targeting element, you do turn your plane around, and then if you're inside this dark circle kind of on the middle of the map, you get more fine-tuned movements. It actually works pretty well. It works really well for control, so it's easy enough to move your plane around with the mouse, and then you have some additional keyboard commands, such as slowing your plane down. You can see my propeller actually stop while I'm doing.
Nice, you're gliding.
I'm hitting S to slow my speed, and you can overdrive and go a lot faster. You can see my speed meter kind of boosting there, and drift side to side as well. And I'm just going to see if I can actually kill this.
Obviously it's not super hardcore in the sense that it's not like Charles has to sit here and stare at a bunch of gauges. They tell him the most important things, which is what health is your plane at, what speed are you at, and how high are you. Like, those are the three most essential things you need to know when you're in a dogfight, at least in a more arcade-style one. I know that there are some people who probably like things like IL-2, Stummervik, or something, but this is not that. This is very much more approachable air combat game. But
yeah, you can definitely jump in and immediately kind of know what's up and know how to start killing things. It's pretty intuitive to start playing, but there's certainly a lot of room for skilled players, as is the case with pretty much any flight game, to really master the art of flying and catching opponents unaware. And like, these bots aren't being particularly smart right now, but yeah, you can loop around like I'm doing right now to try and get out of the way of incoming fire. And there are also a whole bunch of ground targets that you can take on too. You'll notice after I scored a kill, you can see a meter kind of building in the top of the screen. Once you gain an advantage with kills on other players or ground targets destroyed, that meter will start building, and once it's actually full, you will win basically in the standard game mode. And when your opponent scores kills and when they are able to blow up ground targets, that actually kind of resets your meter a little bit. So that's the balancing mechanic. It knocks down your percentage so that you can't win as quickly.
I see, but it also gives plenty of reason to sit there and do something like play a fighter. Play a bomber.
Yeah, it encourages different craft types. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hop into a live game against other players and see how I fare. All right, so I'm about to drop into a match against live players here. Hopefully it is not a disaster. It could be. I could die very quickly.
You are playing in a closed beta, which means that you're playing with some of the more hardcore people.
It's true. The people in the beta definitely want to get into this game. But yeah, again, you'll see the numbers start popping up on the supremacy meter, which is at the top of the screen, a lot more quickly as ground targets are destroyed, as people accidentally crash into the ground, which definitely happens, and as they shoot people out of the sky. So I am with my teammates here. I'm going to try to be careful because you can slam into each other and completely destroy each other. I've gotten a kill that way by basically going head-on collision into an enemy.
Yeah, on the bottom right, you can see a little mini-map that actually shows the grouping of of his fighters and of his ground targets as well that they're protecting. And so you'll see when they sight an enemy plane and stuff, they'll appear on the map. So see, someone just sighted those. Oh my God! This is like I can see on the minimap your full wing is. This is like a Star Wars moment where you guys are gonna fly through each other.
I'm gonna target this guy who shows up on my meter, and I'm gonna see if I can get some hits in before he goes under me.
I think you got him.
Did I actually hit him there? All
right,
yeah,
so
I'm gonna turn. I'm in a really crappy plane, by the way. This is not... Oh,
Very early plane.
So, and obviously teamwork is important here because if we can sort of focus fire, I guess, to steal a term, on this guy.
Exactly, and you guys can get this guy off the back of your guy maybe before he dies. I don't know. He's looking pretty... Oh.
Damn it. So I switched focus here, and I'm going to try and hit
He paid for it, though. Oh, gosh.
Hopefully I don't run it into my
that's
teammates.
what I was
You got to
wondering.
watch out for your friendly fire as well. That is not something you want to mess with.
There are some decent particle effects and stuff like that, though. Like, you just flew through the smoke trail of your guy that got shot down. And
yeah, I mean, the game looks great. It doesn't look... and it runs really well, too. You know, even though this is early, I haven't noticed any...
And it's extremely scalable. Like, you don't necessarily need, like, a super high-end system to make this work.
I'm going to switch over to this guy and see if I can stop him from chasing my teammates.
Oh, my gosh.
Here, buddy.
Oh, you guys are having some dangerous dog.
Oh!
Whoa, gosh.
Whoops. Yeah, definitely want to avoid stuff like that. That would be real bad to just knock out 2 people on the same team.
Oh, man.
This
Things
guy,
are getting intense. You guys are
I can't get a very good angle on
You guys
this
are
guy.
fighting 100 meters off the ground. This would
so
be the world's scariest dogfight.
You do go... You do not soar very high in this game, and the ground actually becomes a...
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You totally got him, though.
All right, I'm going to loop.
And that's the thing, is that Charles will not only be rewarded for kills, even if he doesn't get any, even if his team gets wiped out, which I'm thinking they're not going to, he will still be rewarded for every time he even got damage with experience, and, you know, he'll help him earn those free-to-play game credits as well.
Yeah, because this is a free game like World of Tanks, naturally. Oh, boy.
Oh,
Crash course. I will say it is really tense, even though it just looks like I'm randomly, you know, moving around the screen. It's every time I turn, I don't really know necessarily what's going to happen.
Yeah, you guys are playing some serious chicken. Like, everyone is spinning around so close.
All right,
Mid-air collisions.
He's turning.
Oh, man, he's going to...
Oh,
yeah, nice.
That happened.
Hey,
if you lose too much, because you do, I mean, you can see my propeller stopping again. If you do break, I mean, you can turn a lot tighter. But the danger there is not having enough to kind of avoid the ground.
Yeah,
when
I will
you get
say
that close.
that no one may have technically gotten that kill, but I'll say that I would attribute that kill to the fact that you guys were all just all over him. I mean, you drove him into the ground.
All right,
He
yeah.
didn't
So
really have much of a
we're all
choice.
gonna go after this guy who may be trying to flee right now. I don't know if he's.
Oh man, he's so screwed.
No, he's heading towards us actually. Oh, he's going right for it. All right. Well,
oh well.
How about this?
Wow, he did damage your teammate pretty bad. Oh,
they ran into each
collision.
other. Yep. They're totally dead. So here we can see the loadout, and yeah, I get credits and experience, and yeah, I can load into different types of planes as well. I did. Oh, I guess I got credit for destroying that one guy.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember if that was the same guy.
So you got credit for destroying, and you got credit for damaging, which is
so
nice.
you get XP and credits, and they have their whole system like in World of Tanks for purchasing and upgrading with different styles of planes. I will say that the planes control very differently. Depending on what you eventually upgrade to. So it seems like there's so much depth in terms of the flight models, even though, I mean, obviously they're not realistic, but you will find quite a bit of control differences as you change between different plane types, which is pretty neat. And I haven't seen any of the upgrades yet because, again, closed beta, not everything's active, but something we'll definitely continue to play in the office. Seems like a lot of fun. Seems like, you know, I don't know if it'll replicate the crazy success of World of Tanks, but it's definitely headed in the right direction.
So now we're checking out Natural Selection 2. It started off as originally the first one was a mod to the original Half-Life, and then this new one is a little bit different. This one is their own engine, their own game. So it's been in production for a long time, though.
Yeah, it's been in development for quite a while, and this is still a beta version. So not done yet, although it's supposed to be, finished by the end of the year?
That's the goal, yeah. Okay. And so it takes on the classic battle of humans versus aliens.
Classic battle.
Yes.
Classic.
So, and it's part first-person game, and it's part RTS. So one person's sitting inside our hive here.
That's your main base, right?
This isn't our main base, actually.
Oh.
Or no, yeah, you're right. This is our main base. We can grow hives in other places, so it's nice because then when your main hive dies, your original one, you can still have a backup hive and keep expanding. So the person playing in there is doing a lot of things. They're sitting here growing these like cysts that allow our creep to expand. They're also going to be building additional structures for us that give us new abilities, allow us to upgrade and level up and make our soldiers even better and more powerful fighters.
They're pretty much a key component. It's not like a disposable bonus element. That is the crux of of success, basically.
Totally. I mean, you have to listen to what they say and work with him. Otherwise, your team will be vastly outmatched by the other team that is doing that. Like right now, I can see we're rolling up on some humans, and if they're smart, they've been building the things that their commander wants them to build. The humans have to actually play an active role in that, whereas the aliens, we don't necessarily play an active role, but we do have to help build things that the commander says.
Get
that
'em.
we can help grow them. Oh my gosh, I did okay. That was good for a human run.
Curse
we managed
you,
to get a couple
Theldos.
of them.
So do you want to explain why there are teeth on the top and bottom of the screen?
Yeah, for some reason, it's kind of I think it's kind of adorable, but the perspective that they use for the aliens is within the mouth of the monster. So no matter which monster you're playing, you're always seeing out of their teeth. It's not that way for the humans. The humans see, typical FPS. You're the dude holding the gun view.
Yeah, floating gun view.
Um,
So even if you upgrade yourself, because you can modify by gaining resources, right? You have some resources at the bottom of the screen. You can sort of move to a flying type creature or a whole bunch of different styles.
Yeah, I still don't know the maps that well. I was seeing if I could. I want to get a flank on them. And also your guys that are builder units and stuff, they can grow like really interesting like polyps and stuff that can block off like marine points of entry and stuff. So that's the whole alien shtick, is that they come into the environment and they totally try and terraform it. They try and take it over, turn it into something that works for them, and oh yeah, this is going to be good. Oh, okay. Well, you heard me say it was going to be good, but the shotguns, see, that's a great example, is that their team's expanding, getting a bunch more resources, and that's allowing them to be able to afford shotguns, which can give them a really distinct tactical advantage on us. I'm going to go catch up with my team, because that's part of the problem of why I'm getting killed. I'm not rolling with a pack.
Yeah, and you can also take advantage of those passageways you were going through earlier that the Marines can't really fit into.
Yeah, which is definitely a distinct way to travel. You can see how fast I'm. Marines, they move nowhere near as fast as I'm going right now. Yeah, so here's where our team's starting to roll together. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We got a guy.
That has what, sort of a phase shift ability?
Yeah, so that's a very much so upgraded form. They've been harvesting enough resources, or been in the game long enough to harvest enough resources that they can now, wield these guys that are much stronger than me, the typical, like, I think I'm called a skulk. Oh, gosh. Well, the good news is that we have them pinned back to their base. The bad news is that they're holding that choke point like a champ.
Yeah. I guess everyone, it seems like very much a game of coordination, where if you do like a timed push or something like that into that corridor, you may be able to wipe them all out just through sheer force of numbers. Was that guy evolving?
Yeah,
on the
so when
ground
you evolve, you turn into the little pods that you saw there. And so then it's a risk reward thing, because there's a timer to it, and you can be attacked while that's going on. But then once you evolve, now he's like a flying alien that can throw down a bunch of different. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like running in there is necessarily going to work.
I'm gonna see if I can try and get the drop.
But yeah, I
on
guess
him.
you could do like the drop kill.
Oh my god.
Just straight up Assassin's Creed on those guys. Oh, look at him. Oh, that was a good idea. I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah, we got him.
So yeah, that's a pretty nice escape, actually. Do you regenerate health? It seems like you're the type
slowly,
of thing that would regenerate health.
If your commander can build additional structures that will help you regen health faster, and I believe you regen health faster if you're on your creep, which is another reason like why your commander should be building the cysts to kind of expand it.
Okay. What a commander have we seen commands come through?
No, and what I'm thinking is it's probably a new person in the commander's chair, and I can't really blame them or fault them for that, because this game doesn't have a tutorial right now. And it so desperately needs one, because you sit down in the command chair and all of a sudden it's a full-on RTS. You thought you were playing a first-person game, silly, and all of a sudden it's an RTS and you have no clue what's going on. So, how the hell are you supposed to do that? So I can't blame them too much. But there is a really convenient feature, like you can hit V and you can start a vote to kick someone out of the commander chair.
And then they'll just be cycled into standard play.
Yeah, exactly. We're actually doing really well right now. We have them kind of on the brink. Oh,
oh.
That's their main command chair, though. If we manage to blow that up, the match ends, unless they have additional ones, which I don't believe they do. So both of these commanders are not doing especially hot at the moment.
And yeah, you do get that, as you were saying, dramatic difference of gameplay if you decide to go on the Marine side. Yeah, it just plays more like a standard shooter. And then do they have kind of similar upgrade mechanics?
Yeah, except the Marines can do some things that the aliens can't. Like the Marines can do like direct intervention. The commander can do a little bit of he can throw straight up like, here's a med pack, here's some ammo for a Marine that's low. whereas the aliens throw like a creature that will slowly heal people over time. It's much more passive. The way the developer compares it is that playing the Marines is like playing typical Terran. You know, you're building things actively. You're throwing down, helping your troops out directly. You are very much a guy watching a camera, helping out your soldiers with whatever help they need. Whereas when you're playing as the aliens, they compare it to being more of the intergalactic farmer. You're planting things and letting them grow and mature and become their own thing. See, this is only 71% mature, which means it's been damaged a little. But and you're also planting other structures. You know, you don't necessarily need your team to grow the structures. They can help, but they'll still just grow on their own organically.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it seems to be fairly balanced, you know, despite all the differences. It seems like there's a good, like, it's not like one side is completely rolling over the other one here.
No, and I think it's the result of them being super receptive to feedback. Like, even just talking with the guys on the phone, you know, you find out, like, I told them, I was like, I had no idea that there was even a commander chair for the aliens at first because it doesn't tell. And they're like, you know, that is such a good point, and you're not the first person to say that. They're like, we're working on changing that. Like, we want to have something on the interface that calls out the fact that, like, this is where you go and command things. So they're very active on their own forums. They listen to the community. In fact, one of the maps that the game is going to ship with was made by just one of the modders in the community. So they love their community and really want everyone to go play this game and tell them, like, why they screwed up because they want to fix it before it becomes a full retail product later this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different style of play and hopefully a better experience, or it certainly seems like so far, than some of the other, I guess, multiplayer asymmetrical combat games, you know, Dino D-Day and stuff like that haven't necessarily been really standout multiplayer experiences.
Yeah, asymmetrical multiplayer is just a really tough thing to do. You know, in general, it means that the teams won't naturally be balanced, so you have to sit here and think about how to do that. I'm going to see if maybe I can work on this power conduit.
So you're actually blowing up a structure here.
Yeah, this is a power conduit. And
that's going to take a while.
If I manage to get it, yeah, which is why it's nice when your team's there, but if they distract them long enough, I can actually get this, and it could make a big difference. You'll see that they'll lose power to certain things. The lights should go off.
Oh, you're getting some help. Oh, no.
Oh, come on, guys. Well.
So you have 4 resources. Is that enough to actually evolve yourself?
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm going really slow. I think at this point somehow these guys had a lot of resources before I came in, because at this point we're doing really bad. But
and are those resources, or are the upgrades permanent, or after you die do you basically get knocked down to the bottom evolution level?
Yeah, you get knocked back. So you have to, if you die, then you have to spend more resources to buy those things again. So you definitely have to be very wise with how you spend them.
Okay.
Yeah, this commander just isn't very good. He should be building a thing right here to harvest the resources, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Our creep should be everywhere. Everywhere I'm rolling, there should just be creep everywhere. So
very Zerg-like.
Yeah, the aliens definitely transform the environment. Oh, God, they have jetpacks. The game's over, Charles. The game's over, Charles.
But yeah, that's a brief look at Natural Selection 2. Obviously, there seems to be a lot of depth here. You know, something that we'll try to continue covering as it proceeds towards launch, hopefully sometime later this year. So yeah, that was episode 4 of Command Prompt, and we'll be back again next week, showing off 3 games that it could be games, could be tools, services, whatever we happen to think is cool in PC land.